Hey everyone, it's Tristan back with another video, and in this video we are reviewing the new Kindle Paperwhite as of a few months ago. As of this video, this is the waterproof version, so it's the latest version, and as you can see here, I have it in a case, and I'll be reviewing the case separately in a different video, but just for your general knowledge, it's just a cheap $10 case, which I actually really like, made by Finty, but I'll be reviewing that in a separate video. Anyway, the Kindle Paperwhite, let's go through some of the differences between this version and prior versions. First of all, the prior version wasn't waterproof, so this one is now fully waterproof for people who like to read in the bathtub or maybe the jacuzzi or on the beach or something like that, or at the pool. You don't have to worry about getting it messed up by splashing it, and I think you could even drop it into the water briefly and then take it out and you wouldn't have a problem. One of the ways you can tell this version between prior versions is the word Kindle here on the bottom is a little bit brighter. On the prior version, it was more of a darker, blended in version. And also the bezel here is flush. As you can see, as I run my thumb over the bezel here, it's just totally flush. There's no little lip there, on the bezel. All the functions, of course, work still the same in terms of the page turns and all that. Now, another way that you can tell the current version of the Kindle Paperwhite versus the prior version is the LED on the bottom, right there, that little power and charge LED. That's actually round on the current version, the waterproof version of the Kindle, whereas the prior version, it was more of a rectangle or square. So that's another way that you can tell. So let me go back to my home menu here. You can kind of just see what the default home menu looks like, and this is mostly and some of this stuff is customizable as well. This has 5 LEDs that are on the bottom. You can't really see them in this light because I'm in kind of a lit room, but the LEDs is very equivalent to the last model, so not really much improvement there. The e-ink is the same, 300 ppi in terms of resolution. They do have a lower model now that's got 4 LED backlights, which they just call the Kindle, not the Kindle Paperwhite. That one only has, again, 4 LEDs, and that one is a lower resolution, I think 167 ppi. So I wanted, the Paperwhite version because it's got the 300 ppi, which is just a higher resolution e-ink display, and that is kind of noticeable, especially when looking at it close up. So I think the Paperwhite version is more worth it for, I think, something like $40 more or something like that. Brand new, this Kindle Paperwhite costs, I believe, $129 plus tax. They do occasionally have sales and stuff like that. But I think it's worth it to kind of spring for the Paperwhite version, in my opinion. You get a higher resolution screen, which is nice, and you get a little bit more even front light LEDs as well. But yeah, you can see here if I go into the book that e-ink is really great for long haul reading. Very, very paper-like, very crisp. The text is very dark. Page turns are quite fast, as you can see here, going back and forth. And in a darkened room, because this does have the front lit LEDs, you can read in a totally dark room at night if you want as well. And that works very well. You can adjust the brightness if you want to, totally. There are very many levels of brightness adjustment on that. The only one negative is it doesn't have a color temperature adjustment. So at night, the LED color is a little bit blue for my liking. I would prefer if the Kindle had that, because at night you want. There have been a lot of studies that sort of a blue light at night makes the melatonin levels in your brain not as high or not as good, and it kind of can disrupt your sleep pattern. Although on the Kindle it's not as bad as it would be on a backlit screen, like on the iPad, or iPhone, or on a computer. So the Kindle is still better in that respect. But it still would be nice to be able to adjust the color temperature. In terms of the build quality and fit and finish of this new Kindle Paperwhite, it's very rugged. The back of it has sort of a rubberized texture feel to it, so it doesn't slip out of your hand. It's very light, and it's just also the perfect screen size and perfect device size for like long haul reading. You can hold it in one hand easily. It's really light. The battery life on it is quite good, but I've heard maybe not quite as good as the prior Kindle Paperwhite version, but still not bad. You can get it in different configurations, such as with Wi-Fi only, which is the way I got it here, or with Wi-Fi and 3G. And then you can also get the special offers, which is the thing where on the home screen they will show you ads. That's a less cost than if you don't have the ads. But you can also get the one with ads and then pay later to have the ads removed. I actually don't mind the ads because sometimes I do find occasionally good deals from Amazon using the ads, and the ads don't pop up when you're reading a book. So that's quite nice. Now, if you have the prior version of the Kindle Paperwhite, the non-waterproof version, is it worth upgrading to this version? Well, that's really going to be up to you. But one of the things that I like is this version does have the bezel-less, fully flush front screen here. So that is kind of nice. And it just makes it feel overall a little bit sleeker and, just a nice device in that respect. Having the fact that it is waterproof is also another plus as well. So that might be something that you want to consider. I think it was worth it, to upgrade. And, occasionally I do read at places like at the pool or, on the beach or something like that. And it's just nice to have that added protection of not having to worry about it. If you're reading in the bathtub and you accidentally drop it into the bathtub, you don't have to worry about it, breaking or something like that. So other than that, in terms of the readability and the screen and, the speed of it, all that is pretty much the same as the prior version of the Kindle Paperwhite. Also, I think this version has a little bit more built-in memory. I think it's 8 gigs. So I think the prior version may have only had 4 gigs. So if you store a lot of books on the device itself, that might be a consideration for you. You can also configure it with a higher memory as well for more money. But, most of the stuff in terms of the Amazon ecosystem is stored on the Amazon cloud anyway. So, the internal storage on it may not matter. The other thing is this version can do the audiobooks through Audible when you pair a Bluetooth headset to it, like Bluetooth headphones, for instance. So you can do that and play audiobooks through this, although none of the current model Kindles have the text-to-speech where it will actually read the text on the screen to you. They don't do that anymore. So this has been my look of the new current Kindle Paperwhite, the waterproof model. And any questions, comments, or feedback, please feel free to leave them. Thanks for watching this video. For pricing and availability, see the description field. And for any questions or comments or feedback, I will see you in the comments field.